The galaxy has fallen into chaos. The horrendous events of Order 66 has led to much of the Jedi Order being dwindled to next to nothing in a matter of mere moments. For Ahsoka Tano, she was among the Jedi lucky enough not to be completely caught off guard. She was away from her former clone companions, who were now on a hunt for her, a hunt that was intended to have a fatal outcome. Tano was being chased by her former clones, and it would be a group of Mandalorians who cut off their pursuit, and she soon recognized one of them from the insignia that graced her shoulder. Bo-Katan, Ahsoka thought to herself. Even though she realized they saved her, Ahsoka still cautioned herself. She appeared to have been betrayed by the clones, so she didn't know what to expect of those before her. Bo-Katan soon removed her helmet. She clearly showed fatigue in her expression as she explained what happened that led Mandalore to chaos once more. We were leading civilians to safety when all of a sudden, this chill came over us. Your pal Rex started mumbling something about Fives was right before he pulled his blaster on all of us. Ahsoka knew that name meant nothing to the Mandalorians, but it did mean something to Rex. Curious to what happened next, she asked Bo-Katan to continue her explanation. They were looking for you. Threatened me and my people with treason under the new Galactic Empire, as he called it. If we didn't turn you in, well, you know what happened next. Mandalorians don't bow to anyone. Ahsoka almost couldn't believe what she was hearing. There was so much to think about and grasp in such a short time, though the biggest weight on her shoulder was guilt. The conflict on Mandalore reignited because they were looking for her. Even worse, she had this dreaded feeling that she wasn't the only one that this happened to, and that others must have met a fate much worse. Ahsoka turned to Bo-Katan after a brief moment of thought. What happened to Rex? Do you know? Ahsoka figured that even though he seemed in line with the other clones in this situation, he could still have answers about everything that happened. He crawled away with urgency. He's still out there somewhere. None of their ships have left planet, but that's only because they aim to lock down until they kill you or all of us. Ahsoka soon knew that she was in a race for time to find out what was happening. I need you to rally whatever forces you can. More than likely the command center that's here is still intact, and we'll be able to use it to reach other Jedi. There's no use in contacting the Republic at this point. Though Ahsoka's idea was best for the current situation, Bo-Katan had concerns for the long term. Her people were still being threatened, and this would continue long past Ahsoka's participation in this whole ordeal. Tano fully understood this and promised that once she figured out whatever was happening, she would return in whatever capacity she would be able to, but right now they needed to reach the command center. The pair soon was off, being flanked by other Night Owls, and the battle picked up once more, especially once the clones caught wind of Ahsoka Tano. As the battle towards the command center pressed on, Rex returned to report directly to Emperor Palpatine himself to give an update on Ahsoka Tano. My lord, Ahsoka Tano was not in our sights at the time of the order, but she has been located. She will be eliminated. Captain Rex felt like a puppet deep down. His true personality had been bogged by the inhibitor chip that practically erased all free thought. Speaking to the Emperor was not Captain Rex, but rather CT-7567 of the 501st Legion. The Emperor had listed Ahsoka as a special target given her close relation to Anakin Skywalker, and having her here on Mandalore with an entire legion of clones was something he didn't expect, yet made his plans that much easier. As CT-7567 ended his transmission with Palpatine, a clone informed Rex that Ahsoka and a gang of Mandalorians were pushing their way to the command center. CT-7567 stared blankly at his fellow clone. The Jedi will be good as dead by sunrise. Get the defenses ready. The clone nodded as CT-7567 placed his helmet back on and prepared for a conversation with Ahsoka Tano, which was looking to take place soon. Though she couldn't force the Mandalorians to take non-lethal measures, Ahsoka tried her best to avoid any attacks that would kill her former companions. This strategy took a great deal of concentration, especially in the midst of a battle as large as this one. Every time she incapacitated one, she saw a Mandalorian shoot another one dead. This only added to her drive to end whatever was happening here sooner. Her efforts combined with her allies resulted in them making it to the command center. Yet they knew they wouldn't be alone for long. I'll head inside and get to the bottom of whatever is going on. They'll send reinforcements soon, so be prepared. Ahsoka entered the base in search of Captain Rex. She was unsettled by the stillness inside. Not many life forms occupied it, save for a few droids that scatter along. She soon found the central communications room, but before she could open the door, she heard the clicking of blasters behind her. Ahsoka Tano, by order of the Emperor, you have been deemed a traitor to the Empire and must face termination. Rex. Ahsoka slowly turned to see the clone she had grown the closest to, yet she sensed something immensely different in him. Yet he could have fired at any moment, and she knew that something of her old friend was still there. That name is against regulation. CT-7567 firmly held his blasters, fingers on the triggers, as Ahsoka continued her attempt to reach her old friend. That name solidifies what you became, who you were. You're more than a number. You're Captain Rex. After a moment of silence, the clone spoke. Traitor. CT-7567 opened fire on Ahsoka Tano, and soon more clones appeared almost out of nowhere. It was an ambush. Ahsoka deflected as many shots as she could, but soon realized that she was going to be overwhelmed. She escaped via a hole she carved in the ventilation shaft of the base, and now she crawled throughout, trying to figure out what she could do next. If she couldn't get to Rex, the next step would be the Jedi Order, or what was left of it. Even if her relationship with the Order was rocky, the idea that this happened across the galaxy was one that just didn't sit well with Tano. Even worse, she could hear the battle outside had erupted again, meaning reinforcements for the clones had arrived. That meant Bo-Katan wasn't going to be able to assist her inside. Yet she remembered that she had to get to the central communications room, and hopefully get answers about whatever was happening.